Walking the fine line between art and crime. Is graffiti an art, or is it a crime? How can some forms of self-expression be so culturally and socially accepted, while others are rejected and even punished? In this Pecha Kucha, I will be exploring graffiti and how its many forms have impacted society, historically, culturally, and politically. What do you think of when you first hear the word graffiti? Does hearing it make you think of a respectable form of art or a destructive crime? Graffiti can be an innovative expression of art that takes the form of symbols or words. However, over the past few decades, graffiti has come to be associated with vandalism and criminal activity. The term graffiti comes from the Italian word graffere, which means to scratch on a surface. Today we have come to know graffiti as a licit application of a medium to the surface. However, this is not always the case. Graffiti can even be traced back to the cave art of the Paleolithic Age, and there's also evidence of graffiti from the ancient Greek and Roman civilizations. One of the oldest forms of documented graffiti dates back to ancient Greece and includes a brothel advertisement in Ephesus to the first known depiction of Jesus, traced back to the 2nd or 3rd century. Another clear demonstration of graffiti was discovered in Pompeii, the ancient Roman city destroyed and preserved by Mount Vesuvius 2,000 years ago. Graffiti is created by any utensil that can leave an erasable or a permanent mark on a surface. Graffiti can be shown by spray paint, pencils, stickers, charcoal, etc. There have been numerous debates over what the graffiti was used for, but many historians agree that graffiti was a form of expression, communication, and entertainment. The term tagging is mainly focused on the writer gaining recognition by tagging a pseudonym in as many locations as possible. In fact, when most people describe graffiti, they are probably referring to tagging. In 1984, the New York Transit Authority estimated that 80% of its subway trains had some form of tagging on them. Over the past few decades, a new form of youthful graffiti writing as young practitioners call it, has spread from its origins in New York City to cities throughout the United States, Europe, and other world regions. Graffiti's growing popularity among the youth has led to historical, political, and cultural implications. For example, through an array of painted images, young artists quite thoroughly transformed the political meaning of the Berlin Wall by the time of its destruction. And in the former Soviet Union, the graffiti of urban youth cultures emerged as a channel of resistance, essential to the undermining of Soviet authority, which brought about unity and political resistance. Graffiti has its place in our world's political history. However, its call to freedom has quickly become an artistic scourge that poisons its once courageous values. In Southern California, the participation of young people in graffiti writing is so high that the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department enlists some 800 known graffiti crews to help combat the spread of graffiti. Cities have taken numerous precautionary measures when battling against graffiti. The crime prevention through environmental design refers to altering environmental situations to deter or possibly prevent crime. This form of crime prevention can include any crime, especially graffiti. This plan also involves direct cooperation between residents and law enforcement. A unique form of graffiti that is directly connected to Reno is known as arborglyphs. Arborglyphs are carvings on the bark of aspen trees on the hillside of northern Nevada that provide a record of the presence, experiences, and thoughts of the sheep herders who passed through decades ago. They not only provide a historical significance, but also symbolic importance that connects people to their environment. In addition to the arborglyphs, Reno has a unique festival where people all over the city are called to express themselves by painting murals over designated walls to revitalize certain locations. This mural project is being sponsored by Art Spot Reno, which is a local business that supports other local arts and businesses by integrating them into the community. In the University of Nevada, Reno, almost every student and faculty member knows about the infamous stairwell located within the Church Fine Arts building. When one walks through the stairwell, the walls are covered from top to bottom in spray-painted drawings and designs. This stairwell is a place for students to artistically express themselves and to create a unique design that may remain for years to come. However, on the morning of Friday, October 13, 2017, multiple swastikas were found spray-painted in the well-known graffiti staircase inside the Church Fine Arts building. Since the Church Fine Arts building stairwell is a place where graffiti is permitted, why is it so wrong and abhorrent that the swastikas were painted? Due to the historical and cultural significance of the swastika, its use is not a form of expression, but rather a symbol of hate and death. There is a significant difference between creating images that evoke thoughts and feelings versus targeting a group of people with a historical symbol that is now connected to the slaughter of over 11 million human beings. I was able to obtain an email interview with my criminal justice professor, Professor Everett, regarding the meaning of graffiti and how it connects to the UNR swastikas that were painted in the church fine art stairwell. She essentially believes that there are appropriate uses for graffiti, but if it is used to deface public or private property without consent, then it is classified as a criminal act. How is it that some forms of graffiti are socially accepted, whereas others are discouraged and even severely punished? The main differences between the artwork murals, and swastikas are intent, consent, and image. If the intent is to revitalize a specific place, then it can be considered art. However, if the purpose is to damage, then it can be classified as a criminal act. The murals are a good example of graffiti in terms of legal consent. The city of Reno has granted its citizens permission to write, color, or paint damaged or bleak walls within the city. As for the Church Fine Arts Building, UNR has granted its students the right to express themselves in a unique way that normally wouldn't be accepted by other universities. Throughout our world's history, graffiti has provided a source of historical context, cultural values, political beliefs, and artistic expression. However, it also plays a strong role in criminal activity, vandalism, and hate crimes. Throughout my research of Reno, I have come to see graffiti as both a unique form of art and a violent crime against society. So, where is the line between these two drastically different forms of graffiti, and when is it crossed? Well, the answer lies solely with the artist or the criminal. There is always a proper time and place for the freedom of speech and visual expression. However, once this privilege is abused and used to spread fear rather than present one's artistic feelings, it has crossed the unmovable line.